Yeah, I know. I still need to work on this build. I actually made some perk changes right after this video. I always suspected One Gun Army, the rank 3 card in luck, was not really doing hardly anything for me. It definitely doesn't help with this boss, but from what I've seen, using heavy guns everywhere in this game, I just never really noticed it help virtually at all. If at all, so I'm like, yeah, it doesn't help your damage any either, and this is already a low damage build, so yeah, I got rid of that. Instead, I took it off, and then I moved 1 point of luck into agility to get rank 1 of Born Survivor, which if you don't know means at rank 1, it automatically uses a stim pack. A regular one too, which is still pretty decent, not one of my over 1,000 diluted ones that I just spam constantly if I need to. But the regular ones, the middle ones, I think it automatically uses one of those if you have one. Every 20 seconds, which is all I need, because it would just be like a get out of jail free card, really, for me. It also because I don't use medic pump on this build, on this power armor, or my other power armor I'm going to build up and use, which I've already had on me. I've always used 2 different power armors, but the other one I'm going to use, so this one is Overeaters, Endurance, Sentinels, Aegis, so, or however you say it, Aegis or whatever. It's completely done. T65, which is not the best, I know, but it's also not the worst. I mainly just use it because I like the look. I like the look of T65 with the atomic nuke skin and the freaking propeller blades. Especially with how I use it elsewhere, it's like an AC 130 build with all my explosives too, my thousands of grenades and nuke mines, my 100. If you saw, I took off all my explosive ammo afterwards, because once I established, okay, I can freaking farm this guy, I don't use any of that stuff against him because it's useless for this fight, so I just took all that carry weight off me so I can just keep stacking all the carry weight from the rewards, basically until I'm ready to go cash out. And then whenever I leave this place, get my explosive ammo back on me. But here's the thing about Bethesda, Fallout, this raid, like, it's pretending to be like a looter shooter, but as you see, like, the music and, like, previous, like, Warframe and First Ascendant videos, it's like, I'm sorry, it's just not as cool, frankly. It's not terrible. There's other better fights, like Eviction Notice, some of the expeditions, where I feel like, oh, okay, there's a lot going on here. I could put on some music and it looks pretty decent with music with all the explosions, but for the most part it's just kind of more generic and boring combat. This boss is definitely that. But what I meant to say is the raids are bullcrap. I mean, this boss has instant kill mechanics. What I'm doing here is just an exploit. So if you get right into his face, as you see I'm doing, it's the perfect zone where he doesn't have the stupid instant kill mechanic around him to prevent melee people from doing damage. That's obviously the best way to do damage, especially even more on a low damage build like this guy, but one who still uses power, armor, max strength, so I still have at least decent melee damage on him. Because melee does the most overall, like the auto axe specifically does the most overall. And yeah, it's anti-armors, power attack damage, durability, and pounders. You need pounders for sure on it and anti-armor to really rip this guy through, especially if you're not a full melee build. But yeah, this is like my generalized tank build. Now, if you also notice, I did take off fireproof just to put on chem resistant and iron stomach, because why not? I had a freak perk point, gives me even more damage resist. But that's only because fireproof is useless in this raid. Chem resist means that it's more convenient, so I can just use my psycho buff to give me a little extra damage and durability. But I want to emphasize something. I know, and I'm sure there's players right now screaming like, well, why don't you do all these other changes to make yourself as good as tanky with the damage too as you could? Like, take off all these perks you're not using in strength for this fight and all this other stuff to slap on even more heavy gunner damage. Put on, like, get a whole, like, troubleshooters power armor set to get even more resistance over overeaters, since you can get one specifically geared towards robots. and then you would just switch to your overeaters if you continue throughout the raid. I know, I get it. I've seen those videos. I know what people do. They've been doing it since the beginning of the game. I know exactly how to change stuff to be really OP. It's just, one, I clearly don't need to. I'm already doing fine as it is. And two, it's just, this game does not, this is what I'm saying, this is not a looter shooter. And it's so ridiculous that it's why I don't care about even the instant kill mechanics or any of that bull crap in these raids, because they expect you to like change up your build, and to that degree would require so much tedious item management in the terrible UI system of Fallout that I'm like, it is not worth it. If it was Warframe or First Ascendant or something where you could actually have a super quick, easy loadout change of build that doesn't cost anything, because you also have to pay perk points to change your legendary perks on the fly. If you could do that, then I would absolutely do that in different parts of the raid to have the best tank possible. But you can't, so I prefer my generalized tank build.